For more than 200 years, us practicing witches and Wiccans have pretty much been blamed for everything that has ever gone wrong around the towns. Maybe that's why people hate us? Well, they don't hate us. I think we just make them a little nervous. But that's what I'm here for. Hi, my name's Max, and I'm a Wiccan. My journey began on my 18th birthday when my mother gave me my first ever tarot deck, and from that moment on, I was completely hooked. Witchcraft has probably been around for as long as there has been people, and people have used it in many different ways. It's throughout many different cultures, from the ancient pagans of England to the ancient Egyptians of Egypt. But Wicca, that is actually a little more modern. In fact, it just came about after the Second World War when a person called Gerald Gardner brought it forward to the public. You're probably wondering who Gerald Gardner is. Well, he was born June 13th, 1884. And when he was in his youth, he went and moved to Malaya and became a civil servant. He worked there for a fair while, and eventually he ended up becoming an amateur folklorist with an interest in magic and rituals. After a few decades, Gerald came back to England, and he joined a coven and lived with them in the New Forest, and he introduced all of the new magics that he had picked up along his travels. He combined them with the craft of the coven of the New Forest, and in turn, created Wicca. People always ask me, what do Wiccans believe in? And in truth, they don't. You might be a little confused by that, but Wiccans don't really believe in anything. They believe in what they wanted to believe, and every Wiccan believes in something different. You see, some people say we believe in Satan. That's not actually true. You see, Satan is a biblical character that was created to personify evil, but the thing is, Wiccans don't believe in evil in the natural world. Think of it like this. If you're walking through the forest and a tiger jumps out and eats you for its lunch, that doesn't make the tiger evil. That just makes the tiger a tiger. Yes, it's a horrible tragedy and it's a horror for your family and everything, but it's not evil, it's just instincts. Now you know where Wicca came from, it's time to tell you what Wicca is. Wicca is completely different from every person who practices it, and it's different from witches. You see, a witch can be anyone. They don't have to follow a specific path. They could be an atheist and a witch, or a Christian and a witch. But a Wiccan is someone who specifically follows a religion, and it kind of involves witchcraft in that. You see, I myself am an eclectic Wicca. That's one of the paths. An eclectic Wicca is someone who takes literature, takes videos, and weaves it into their own craft. But there are many different kinds of Wiccan. Witchcraft and spellcasting is at the heart of every witch or Wiccan. See, they cast spells all the time for all sorts of things. For good luck, for wishes, for helping them get through an exam. You yourself might not even know it, but you've probably cast a few spells. Ever blown out some birthday candles on top of the birthday cake? You see, that is probably one of the oldest good luck spells in the book. So you yourself have been casting all your life, but you've just never known it. But it's funny, because magic is just all around us, at every single moment, and we use it without even knowing. When you really, really want something, even when you're like in the car and you just really want to find that parking space and then all of a sudden you find it. It's just putting the intent out there and the universe listens. That is the very essence of witchcraft and Wicca. So while the bread is baking, I'm going to go upstairs and read my tarot. I'm just going to light some sage to clear any negative or bad energy out of the room before I start to read the tarot. Sage is used to cleanse spaces, so many people burn it in new homes and new places to get out bad energies. It's a great tool. Now, you're probably wondering what tarot is. You see, tarot is a tool that many witches and Wiccans use. You don't actually have to be a witch or Wiccan to read tarot. Tarot is a tool that people use for guidance. Some people say that you can read the future. Some other people say that it's just off your own instincts. I don't really know what to believe. I kind of like to believe both. I'm going to shuffle the tarot deck, and then I'm just going to meditate on it for a minute. The Five of Cups is a card to remind you not to look at all the sorrow that's going on in your life. There are two cups happily fully filled behind you, and you need to remember to look at them. The Nine of Cups, also known as the Make-A-Wish card. This is the perfect time to make a wish, because it most probably will come true. And finally, the Three of Cups. This is the Friendship card. It remembers to rely on your friends, and they will always be there for you. The bread is probably almost done baking by now, but my mum brought home some lavender to plant, so I'm just going to plant this lavender quickly before I get the bread out. because I think the time this is done, it'll be perfect to actually bring that bread out because I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good. I can just feel it. Now it's time for the magic part. With this bread, I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to take a handful of salt. The handful of salt represents earth, which represents protection. And as I sprinkle the salt over the bread, I think of all my loved ones and all the protection I want to give them. Something I like to do after I've made the bread is I like to take time for myself. Normally, I'll make a cup of tea and I'll go to my room and I'll just think about all the positives that I have in my life and reinforce them. Maybe it's magic, maybe it's superstition, but I'm not sure. But there are some things that I do know for sure. Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Plant lavender because it will bring you luck. And spend time with the ones you love.